Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Akila. In this video, let us see how to use Apache Spark in Microsoft Fabric. I'm into Power BI service. I have created a workspace by enabling the Fabric capacity. And I also created a data lakehouse in this particular workspace and loaded a sales CSV file from a Git repo. I will be tagging the link in the description box below. So now let us preview this data. See, this CSV file got first row as a column headers, and from second row looks like it's data. So now we are going to analyze the data using the Spark notebook and apply some transformations and load this file into a delta table in this lakehouse. So before heading into this, let me tell you what is Apache Spark. Apache Spark is nothing but a distributed data processing engine. In simple terms, I can say like a particular task, instead of running in one machine, will be distributed among multiple nodes and parallelly processed. So the output will be very faster, quicker, and scalable. That's why we analyze the large data volumes using the Apache Spark. So this Apache Spark is an engine, right? So in the Fabric workspaces, default this Spark configuration will be enabled. It will use, if you want to specify explicitly some configurations, you can enable it. You can modify it. And we should make sure that whenever you are executing this notepad, we should make sure which Spark configuration should be applied. So, okay, what is this notebook then? So, there is a PySpark and SQL, right? Spark SQL. So PySpark is nothing but a Python API, whereas Spark SQL is, we can write SQL code within the Spark environment. Notebook is an environment, interactive environment where to write the code and execute it. As well as we can visualize the data and we can do documentation. Everything will be in a single place. So to help all this in the Fabric workspace, we can see here in the data lakehouse, open notebook. From here, we can launch a notebook and write our code in PySpark or Spark SQL, and we can save it and execute it. Where Spark configurations will be applied by default in the Fabric workspace. Okay, let me click here, new notebook. Default, the notebooks will be created as notebook 1, 2, 3, and so on. If you want to rename, on the top left, you can rename to a particular name. Okay, now it is giving me an explorer here in this notebook view where it is listing our data lake, all files and tables. So I can click on the new data and load this file into Spark with help of this environment. See, I am loading the sales data into the Spark environment now, right? Let us quickly understand what it has written. Data frame, DF means data frame. So this data frame will have Spark.read format. So it is reading the data, which is a format CSV, where header is true, and this is the path from where it is fetching the data. Display DF. So it is displaying the data frame in the format of table, rows and columns. We can see that here below. Now, usually we might be interested to load only specific columns into our main tables, right? Instead of loading everything. So we need selection. See, we can see a table here. So let us apply some selections to this data frame. Instead of displaying all the columns, let me display only particular columns. There are two ways. We can use dot select function and mention the column names, specify the column names, or you can directly mention the column names with the DF itself, data frame, angular braces, mention the column names. quantity. So Spark is very case sensitive, strict case sensitive. Make sure we mention the functions and all with the same camel casing. If I run this cell, this particular box is nothing but a cell. So this Spark notebook will have multiple cells. We can add multiple cells to execute the code. And in the top on the right side, you can see which language we are writing it. We can select that PySpark or Spark SQL. See, when you select Spark SQL, default this line has been added. So it is telling that the SQL queries will be written in this, which will convert in the backend to the Spark proprietary language. So now see the output, the table is displaying only the selected columns. Now, if you want to specify a where condition, this is for the analysis, not part of cleaning. If I want to apply a where condition, I am having a where function here. Before using all the functions, we need to import a library where we can use all system functions. We can call system functions there. So we have a command like import command from PySpark.sql functions import star. So it will import by star asterisk means it will import all the functions from this library. Where let me give a sales order number just for testing. So I'm calling call function to specify the column name. Sales order number. Make sure this camel casing is equals to this. If you don't follow that, sometimes it may throw the error. Double equals to SO43701. I'm giving the data from the first row of my output. So let us see how many sales order number with this particular data in our sales CSV file. I am analyzing the CSV file. Okay. We haven't put it into a table yet. Okay. See, there is one row. Fine. So this is how we can apply where conditions. If I want, I can comment this code with hash. I can write DataFrame sales order number, comma, order date. See, there is also other way of selecting the columns from the respective data frame. And if I want to apply some aggregations, count number of rows or select particular thing, apply a group by. So let me apply group by. Group by order year, order date, comma, sum. If I write capital yes, it may not work. I'll show you. It's a strict camel casing. It has to throw an error. See, it is throwing an error. So I should call it as small yes. Okay. You might be wondering, what is the sum of this? I have to count it, right? Not the order date. Count. So it has to count the number of sales order number. So here, group by order date. So remaining integer, the remaining columns count will be considered. So sales order number is considered as a count for counting. So it has counted the sales order number. For this particular date, those many orders were placed. Okay. Now, if I want to do the sum function, so we have quantity column, right? Let me call quantity here. So order number. Let us see the output first. So this is the quantity. If I want to limit my output, we have function df dot limit where you can specify the number of rows. To fit in our screen, I'm calling only 10 rows. This is how we limit the output. Now I want to call some function as well. So I want to group by order date. Okay. dot, I'm calling aggregation function here, where it will have all expressions. Okay. So I'm calling sum of quantity. So I can have an alias name for the output column, right? So I can call it as total quantity. Okay, let me execute. See, it has given me the total quantity for respective order dates. Okay, I'm removing the limit. So now we know how to apply some weight conditions, how to select only specific columns, how to apply group by, and apply some limit, count, aggregations, and sum. Now let us add new columns to this. For that, df is equals to DataFrame dot with column. I want to add a column and that name will be order year, comma. I'm calling an year function to extract year from the order date. That is order date. Let me see how the output looks like. Yeah, see, for this particular order here, these are the total quantities. That is how I can summarize, right? So let me add, based on the order year, then the total number of quantities will give you an understanding how your total sales is improving across the year. For me, like, to make the condition, like to make some decisions, we may need monthly trends also, right? For that, we may need to add as another column to give the order month to get the seasonal trends from our data. For that, we have month function order date. Let me execute this. See, based on the year, order month, total quantity is this. Fine. Now, we have added some columns, right? So now I don't want to apply any group wise. Let me comment this or I can delete it. We have noted down the code, right? Yeah. Let me display the specified number of columns in my output. Okay. Now I want to load all this data into a table. Okay, delta table. So I'm adding item as well. Sales order number, order date, the quantity, and the item. And I extracted the year and the month from it. Fine. I have commented the weight condition. I have removed all the group by because I want to load all the rows. I have removed even the limit into my delta table. Let us see a code how to convert this file into a delta table now. That is our main agenda of this video, right? We need to convert the CSV into a delta table. For that, I'm calling DataFrame dot write function, write as a delta table, write as a delta table, sorry, write dot format as a delta table. Write function, read function is to read, write function is to write. I have mentioned here the format, right? Which format we are reading. I'm mentioning that convert this into a delta format. Okay, delta tables, which will be very faster for ACID operations. And we need to mention the mode here. It's auto popping the right on the drop down. We want to override it. Okay. Oh, sorry. We want to override this whenever we are loading the or running this script. Okay. And we need to save as a table. And I can specify the table name here. I'm mentioning as sales. Okay. I don't want to display anything here. I just want to execute. Spark.read is to read the file. DataFrame.write is to write the data frame. It's taking some time. Yeah, oh, it's success. Okay. Let me expand this DBO. If not here, let me go back to my lakehouse view. Click on DBO, refresh. Yes, it has created a sales table with the only selected columns and new derived columns, order year and order month. Okay, this is a delta table. This is how we can use PySpark to apply some transformations and analyze the data. Now, when I mouse over, I can see plus code, right? I can add a new cell here and I can write data here. See, it still have all the previous cell data. If I use display df, it will display the up. Let me comment this right command. Like run this cell and all above. See, it still holds the data frame from the previous cell. I can display the data like this or show function. Okay, data frame dot show function. So let us write some SQL query to analyze our delta table first. Let me clear the output, add one more cell, select the SQL, Spark SQL. So default it will give me modulo SQL. So now select star from sales. I want to execute and see whether I'm able to fetch my new delta table data. See, I am able to connect to my new delta table using the same notebook with different cell, and I can apply my transformations here. Order year, sum of quantity as total orders from sales, group by order year. Okay, order by order year. We'll see. So year-based analysis is very useful to understand the overall trend, how we are growing. For seasonal, we need month to be added. We can add even month here. So I'm analyzing my data using Spark SQL here. It's very easy, right? We can use our SQL knowledge here as it is. So the only thing is we have to import this command, modulo SQL. That's it. So we can apply all our SQL transformations for analysis here. Hope this is useful. Thank you.